Welcome to Astro Cheaper Hindi channel.
where sometimes the person you trust the least becomes the only reason you survive. Commander Varric hated humans. Not politically, personally. He thought humans were loud, reckless, emotional, and dangerously unpredictable. Which is why assigning a human mechanic to the Queen's royal cruiser felt like an insult to him. Unfortunately for Varric, that human mechanic was me. My name's Elias Trent, Chief Maintenance Engineer, professional fixer of impossible machines. And according to Commander Varric, the walking reasons safety protocols exist. Honestly, he wasn't completely wrong. The royal cruiser Seraphis was the pride of the Valorian Empire. Massive silver warship, advanced royal technology, elite guards in every corridor. Nothing aboard that vessel failed without 20 alarms screaming first. Which meant the Royal Guard hated mechanics almost as much as they hated emergencies. Especially me, because unlike most engineers, I talked too much. I played music while repairing engines. I ignored formal military behavior. And once I accidentally shut down half the cruiser's lighting system trying to improve coffee machine voltage. That incident followed me for months. Commander Varric especially never forgot it. The man looked carved from pure discipline. Tall, silver armor, cold eyes that judged every living thing nearby. He ran the Queen's Guard like a military religion. Every movement precise, every order perfect. Meanwhile, I repaired engines using tools scattered across the floor while eating cold noodles. Naturally, he despised me. "You are irresponsible," he told me almost daily. "And you're allergic to smiling," I usually answered. That relationship did not improve over time. Still, the Queen liked results. And no one repaired damaged royal systems faster than I did. So despite Varric's endless complaints, I stayed aboard the cruiser. Then the sabotage happened. It started during a routine hyperspace transit near the outer colonies. Quiet shift. Normal operations. Most of the crew asleep. I was halfway inside an engine conduit fixing coolant regulators when emergency alarms exploded across the ship. Red warning lights activated instantly. Then the cruiser shook violently. Hard enough to throw me across the maintenance deck. What the hell was that? A second explosion answered. The lights failed. Smoke poured through the lower corridors. And suddenly every emergency channel screamed the same terrifying message. Reactor breach detected. That should have been impossible. The Seraphis carried enough safety systems to survive direct combat. But this wasn't an accident. Someone sabotaged the cruiser from inside. Within seconds, panic spread across the ship. Crew members rushed through smoke-filled halls. Fire suppression systems failed one after another. And somewhere deep inside the reactor core, something kept exploding. I grabbed my emergency toolkit and sprinted toward the lower engine decks. That's when Commander Varric intercepted me. His armor was already scorched from battle damage. "Engineering access is sealed." "No kidding. The Queen has been evacuated." "Good. Then move." He blocked my path immediately. "You are not authorized." Another explosion rocked the corridor violently. The floor cracked beneath us. Emergency bulkhead doors slammed shut across nearby halls. And suddenly both of us became trapped inside the lower cruiser sections. Varric checked his communicator instantly. No signal. No command access. No escape route. Smoke thickened around us. I looked at him carefully. "Well, this is awkward." The commander's expression darkened. "The reactor is collapsing." "Yeah, I figured that out from the fire." For several seconds he stayed silent. Then reluctantly asked, "Can you stop it?" That was the first time Commander Varric ever sounded uncertain. Honestly, that scared me more than the explosions. We moved quickly through the burning corridors while the cruiser continued tearing itself apart around us. Every section looked worse than the last. Fires spreading through ventilation systems. Power failures everywhere. Crew members trapped behind sealed blast doors. The sabotage hit critical systems deliberately. Whoever planned this wanted the royal cruiser destroyed completely. Varric fought through debris and collapsing corridors like a machine. Precise, focused, fearless. Meanwhile, I crawled through maintenance shafts, rerouting emergency power manually while trying not to die every 5 minutes. At one point, we reached a destroyed corridor completely blocked by fire. Varric immediately stepped forward. "We go through." I grabbed his arm. "That's not courage. That's suicide. The reactor chamber is beyond this section." "Yeah, and I'd like to arrive there alive." He looked annoyed. "You always speak during emergencies?" "It helps me process impending death." Unexpectedly, Varric almost smiled. Very slightly, but enough to shock both of us. Then the ceiling collapsed nearby. Conversation over. We found another route through lower maintenance tunnels beneath the burning cruiser decks. That's where things became worse. The sabotage wasn't just mechanical. It was military. Explosive charges lined the reactor stabilization systems. Professional infiltration work. Varric didn't hesitate. He nodded once. Simple. Certain. Trusting me completely for the first time. Together we initiated the emergency REA. Nothing happened. Then suddenly, the alarms stopped. Silence filled the reactor chamber. Containment restored. The cruiser survived. Both of us collapsed against the control panels, breathing hard while emergency systems slowly restarted around the ship. Outside the chamber, surviving crew members began cheering through the communication channels. The Queen's cruiser lived. Hours later, rescue teams finally reached the lower decks. Medical officers surrounded us immediately. Royal Guards secured the reactor sector. And somewhere nearby, investigators already searched for the traitor responsible. As medics treated my shoulder wound, Commander Varric stood nearby watching silently. Then before leaving, he said something I never expected to hear from him. "You were brave today, mechanic." I smirked weakly. "You just realized that?" A small smile appeared briefly on his face. Very brief, but real. And deep inside the damaged royal cruiser, the Queen's Guard finally understood something important. The annoying human mechanic he once hated had become the reason they were all still alive. For more mind-blowing sci-fi stories like this, subscribe to Astro Cipher Hindi.